Hello. In today's video, we'll be looking at the top 5 alternatives to Plastiq as a payment solution for different types of business needs. Now, Plastiq on the whole is very good, especially for being able to pay vendors with credit cards when those vendors don't usually accept credit card payments. And the interface is relatively intuitive and simple to use. But there are better alternatives out there, especially for things like e-commerce, or if you're a large-scale business and you need, accounts automation and things like that. So we're going to dive into the top 5 alternatives in reverse order, starting with PayPal. And one of the biggest and most obvious benefits of using PayPal is for e-commerce websites, or really any platform where you're accepting payments, whether it's an online store or you're a consultant or you accept commissions and you want people to be able to pay you directly from your website. The reasons for that are twofold. For one thing, PayPal has that international recognition working in its favor. When customers see the PayPal logo, it's something that they automatically, understand and recognize what that is. And it does instill a level of trust in those people who are buying from you, that this is a website they can trust. It's also really easy to create and send invoices here, if you're doing one-off jobs, or, a client didn't pay you via the website. And of course, it comes with a lot of, it's effortlessly integratable into pretty much every e-commerce platform. So whether that's WooCommerce for WordPress, or Shopify, or Squarespace Commerce, or any of the other big platforms, PayPal can usually be added to your site very, very quickly, and it's so easy to use from the customer's side of things. However, there are a few problems with PayPal. There is so many things that you can do that these menus are practically crammed with options and don't always work. Like, that's cut off at the bottom of the screen there. And sometimes I've been using PayPal for a good number of years now, and with so much going on, I still get confused sometimes figuring out exactly where I need to go to be able to do what I need to do. Other than that, it is pretty solid, it's stable, it's well recognized and secure. Moving on, we come to Veem, which is my pick for the best Plastiq alternative for those of you who regularly deal with international payments. As you'll see here on Veem's pricing page, if you are sending payments in US dollars to another country, that's completely free. If you are sending international payments to another country in their local currency, that's completely free. And it's also completely free to receive money in your sender's local currency. So say you're in the United States, your currency is dollars, but a client over in England pays you £500 in their currency, that's still free to receive. And the only time you pay a fee is if you receive international payments in US dollars, at which point it is quite steep at $29 or $39 for payments over $10,000. Otherwise, this is a relatively simple platform. It's not the most straightforward one I've ever used, but it is certainly, it has the advantage over things like PayPal in terms of usability. Moving on next, we come to Bill. And if you are a small business, a solo entrepreneur, freelancer, or a contractor, Bill is maybe, and I say this with all respect, too complex and advanced for what you really need. This is more designed for large scale and growing businesses who have, an increasingly expanding stack of invoices in their accounts payable folder. And, their business has reached a level where manually handling, paying bills and sending invoices is not feasible or sustainable. The reason I say that is that Bill automates all this for you. When you log in, you have a nice simple dashboard that guides you through the process of, adding your payment methods, vendors, bills, etc. And, there is even the option to use a corporate card here. And once you're set up, you can set accounts payable on autopilot so that when bills are coming in on a regular basis, say you have a client that pays you every month on the 5th of the month or something like that, you add it to your system and Bill takes care of it for you. Next, we come to CorePay Complete, which is a full package for managing and paying vendors. And it really is a solid alternative for that specific need. If you just, you have a lot of vendors, again, if you're a growing business or a large scale business and you have a lot of vendors, and Plastiq's, relative simplicity is just not quite enough for what you need. CorePay is a good alternative, and as you see here, there are a lot of features. We can automate payments like we can in Bill, and we can automate invoices. We have the purchase orders, we can set up cards, we have cool expense management features as well. The one thing I'm not a big fan of about CorePay is that they are very salesy. You'll notice, here on the homepage, there is no information about pricing or fees. It's send us an email, talk to our sales rep to get a demo, and the sales rep obviously pushes the highest plans, and even once you're signed up, you're getting a lot of upselling going on. That isn't the case with my number one pick for the all-round best alternative to Plastiq, which is Melio. Now, Melio is by no means the most advanced or sophisticated payment platform out there, but that is all part of its appeal, especially if you are, you're working on your own, you just have a small team. All you want is something that's simple, straightforward, and easy to use that lets you send your invoices, get them paid, and pay off your vendors. And you'll notice when you log into the account, that's literally the only three things in the menu. You can either access your payment settings, you can access your payment settings to get paid, or you can access a directory of customers. From a usability standpoint, I do wonder why Melio hides its vendors within the pay section and only reveals it in the menu when you're not in that section, whereas customers has its own tab. But it's still, despite that very tiny little thing, it is incredibly easy to use. So if I do need to pay someone, I go over to the payment menu, and if it's a one-off payment, I can literally just click add new payment. I can enter the bill amount, the invoice number, I can do all that manually, or I can upload an invoice, and it automatically scans that information and adds it in there for me. From there, all I need to do then is move on and choose whether to pay by bank or card. And that is one of the things that makes this such a great alternative to Plastiq, is the fact that you can use cards to pay your vendors even when they don't naturally accept them. Melio also offers automation, so for accounts payable, so it does help for, if you are a larger business. And for those regular clients, you had your list of vendors here, and whenever you need to pay them, you'd simply click pay. And then, like I said, literally the only thing you need to do is pick a payment option and away you go. One of the things I do really like about Melio, other than its absolute simplicity, is the fact that it is free to send a set number of bank transfers each month. So Melio has a completely 100% free account, and that comes with 5 free bank transfers. And then if we move into the $19 per month plan, and this is on the annual billing cycle, so that's where you get the best deal. If you're on the $19 per month plan, you get 23 payments. If you're on 41, you get 50. And if you need any more than that, payments are charged at just 50 cents per transaction. Whereas with Plastiq, you're looking at 99 cents per transaction. Now, 49 cents may not make the biggest deal overall for a one-off transaction, but once you start comparing 99 to free and and then 50 cents over multiple payments. You're saving an awful lot of money with Melio. So while PayPal has its uses for e-commerce and Veem is great for international payments, where Bill and CorePay both target larger businesses, for small businesses and freelancers, anyone who needs a simple way to pay and get paid at an affordable rate, Melio for me is the best Plastiq alternative out there.